Why, Heidi ho, Heidi ho, Heidi ho. So, I put a message on earlier today, um, and that was actually one that I put on Facebook. So I've been trying to figure out how to do the things with Facebook and whatnot, so that I could do reels on Facebook. Anyway, so I got that situated. So the message for today is God don't like ugly. It's about Donald Trump, not just Donald Trump, but all the Title 28 corporations around the world. So the state of Israel, state of Iran, state of the United States, the state of France, the state of Russia, the state of, you name it. They're all states. They're all corporate states owned and controlled by the banksters. So anyway, Trump's upset because that portion of land that some know is Iran has closed the Strait of Hormuz and saying that you got to pay like $2 million per load to run cargo tanks through the Strait of Hormuz. Now Trump's threatening to shut it the other end so that nobody can go in or out. That's an empire that's being run by emperors, but it's all smoke and mirrors because it'll still be the same Vatican, same Roman Catholic Church, same Gregorian calendar, same time zone act, and it's still going to be fiat currency in some way, shape, or form to where the bankers have control, whether they do digital currency and digital IDs, whatever the hell they plan. Anyway, God don't like ugly. He's upset, supposedly, because they're charging people to travel through the Strait of Hormuz. So law, land, air, water, is all controlled by our Imam, and our Imam doesn't like ugly. So that's the reason for Sodom and Gomorrah being smote the way it was smote and during the flood of Noah, and all the things that have happened throughout history since the beginning. God don't like ugly. So, considering it exploitation, is how Trump wants to say it. They're exploiting the world that's coming from the same wicked men who want to exploit the world, including their own people on their own land, and take away your freedom of travel, freedom of movement, your God-given rights. There's a reason why our forefathers put those things in the Bill of Rights. So the courts are all corrupt. They're all corrupt. Every judge is corrupt, no matter which level, no matter whether it's local, whatever, it's all the same. It's all the same bar association. Anyway, they believe they have a right to interfere with other people's freedom to fend for themselves, freedom of travel, freedom of movement, freedom to forage for food, freedom to live on the land. And they created all these documents to give you the impression that you own what belongs to our Imam, to God. But the same individuals will whine when they lose control. So the bankers create this wickedness because that's how you destroy millions of people. And they do this all the time because they know the nature of man, the wickedness of a man's heart. And this goes back thousands upon thousands of years. So, believing that we can own what belongs to our neighbor, which is our Imam, mother and father, excuse me. Kili kol ha'aretz, all the earth is mine. So that says whether or not you're like Enoch, and you walk with our Imam, or you believe you can own our Imam. So, they're upset because somebody else is going to take away their freedom of travel and freedom of movement. But they have done it to every living man, woman, and child on all the land. No matter which portion of land you believe you live on, or no matter what name you believe you live in, they charge you by making you make pledges with the Bar Association to give up your freedom of travel, freedom of movement. And then they give you an EIN, Employee Identification Card, or EIN, Employee Identification Number, called a Social Security Trust Account. But that's your employee identification number. And as long as you're an employee of the United States, you have to pay taxes. That's why I don't use that crap. I won't use the Social Security system. I will not use the British Accredited Registry's laws. I follow my Imam's laws. And it comes down to what is in our heart. You sent your mother away. So you're sending our mother away. That's why you allow all this wickedness to transpire. When you allow tyranny to take place, you can't say you're a man that doesn't believe in slavery. If you believe another man has a right to rule over you, then you damn well believe in slavery. It's not to say that we can't take leadership and advice from leaders. But the bankers' puppets are not leaders. They're followers. They're following orders of the bankers, what the bankers tell them to do, because they're greedy for gain. Trump, Biden's, the Bushes, the Obamas, Netanyahu, the whole freaking bunch of them are greedy for gain. As long as they receive gain, they don't care what is done with the people on the land. So take away their God-given rights, our rights that are inalienable. No man can take them away. They can only threaten you. And you could be a coward and give them away. So that's fairing other men. So you want to talk about what a true patriot is. A patriot doesn't need a flag, a statue, whether it's a Statue of Liberty. They don't need faces carved in the side of mountains. They don't need any of that stuff. A true patriot doesn't believe that he's above others simply because of the flag he wraps himself in. And the only flag that is lawful and godly on the land is a pure white flag. When we surrender everything up to our Imahaba, quit believing that we have a right to rule over others. It's okay to fend for others and to help others, to give somebody a hand up, which is another sign and prima facie evidence on its face of how wicked the world is. There'll not be a poor man among you, but yet in every nation, everywhere around the world, there are those that have, and there are the have-nots. That's how the Epstein class is created, by having haves and have-nots. Oh, we got to have our capitalism. It's a Ponzi scheme created to benefit the bankers. Ultimately, who wins? Both sides, because they play both sides of the war. That's a message for today. God bless. Much love.